The Truther Girls. This one I actually didn't have much problem with, except for the fact that a lot of it is, one, assumption, and two, duh. This is nothing new. Nothing has changed in the tactics since Vietnam. First issue I have, and I have a couple notes, so I'm going to be glancing over. You say that Afghan farmers claim. Afghan farmers claim the U.S. is spraying chemicals. Really? I wonder if they're the most trustworthy source for things happening overseas. I'm thinking a grain of salt should be taken with all this.
It says here, most of the world's heroin came from the Golden Triangle until the early 21st century, when Afghanistan became the world's largest producer. That's right around when the U.S. moved into Afghanistan.
Again, not any news, not surprising. The U.S. has been in the drug business since the drug business existed.
Coincidence?
No.
Now, when I hear things like this, I can't help wonder, what is the agenda behind it? Turn Afghanistan into the world's #1 producer of heroin, and then spray their crops with chemtrails so that they have 25% less crop yield.
Okay, yeah. What is the motivation here? And something that you always have to keep in mind, or I always have to keep in mind, is that there are the Crusaders involved. You're going to have people that want to grow the drugs, or sell the drugs, and make lots of money. Capitalism at its finest. Well done there. And then you're going to have the Crusader, who is against drugs at all costs. Now, I'm going to have to blame the religious conservatives for this one. These are the ones that mostly believe that drugs are all bad, that no one should do them, they're illegal for a reason, and they're just bad, and then God's against them, and it's blah, blah, blah. The atheist liberal, on the most part, doesn't give a damn and think that all drugs should be legal, and if you don't like them, don't take them. It should be your choice. I happen to fall in that category. Surprise, surprise. So you're going to have factions of our own government, well, my own government, fighting against each other. You're going to have the people, the capitalist pigs at the top that just want to make money at the expense of the poor people and the ignorant. And then you're going to have the Crusaders, the religious fanatics that believe, and not just religious fanatics, but the fanatics that believe all drugs are bad and should not be allowed, period. Those same people are going to be in the same government, fighting against each other. So you can think there's a conspiracy, and there is, although it's not really a conspiracy. It's well known, and people just keep on swallowing it. So you can't rule out the Crusader.
Production far outstripped annual world demands of 5,000 tons. It said with stockpiles of opium estimated at 10,000 tons, as cartels hoarded in an effort to push up prices that had fallen by 30% in a year. So they hoarded it to create an artificial shortage to drive the price up. So maybe this is just a scam.
So, is it a conspiracy? Is it a scam? Is it the Illuminati? Is it shape-changing lizard people? Of course it's a scam. They're drug dealers. Hello! And I'm including the U.S. and your government too, and all governments. Of course it's a scam.
To drive up the price of heroin. So what would be the benefit of raising the price of heroin? Well, obviously, it would benefit those who are selling it. But
yes.
Why would the U.S. military want to raise the price of heroin?
Because they're selling it.
There's some kind of conspiracy.
It's not a conspiracy.
Yeah, the more I think about it, the more it makes sense that the same people spraying the crops would be the ones selling the heroin.
Okay, this is where I have my issue. This is my only issue with you, other than the fact that you're saying stuff that's already been known. And I like the video, and I like your videos. But I have some issues with them, and this is the one I'm going to take the biggest issue with, because it's what a lot of conspiracy theorists do. Where is your proof that the U.S. is spraying poison on the poppy fields? An Afghan farmer claims? Really? Is this the same Afghan farmer that lives in the fields in the middle of nowhere and prays to invisible sky daddy and sells his daughter for money? I'm generalizing here, but is this the Afghan farmer that you're talking about? The one that has an ironclad reputation? You're making an assumption here, and I believe it's a false one. And even if it's not false, even if they are doing it, your assumption is false. Everything else I'm cool with. I believe. Oh, there's also one other thing that you've I think failed to mention, and I don't know how you feel about this, but in one of your comments, it said an old drug dealer's trick: get them hooked and then jack up the price. So, a question from me to you: are you for or against the legalization of drugs? Should we be able to choose for ourselves what we take for ourselves? That's my only issue, and a question to you. I know I can be a little smarmy, it's how I come off, but I get upset by stuff and I just have to spit it out. If I was face to face, I wouldn't be quite so offensive or in your face, but in video form I am able to just let it all hang out. So if you would, please let me know, are you for or against drug legalization?